Hello YouTube, how is everybody this evening? I hope everyone's doing well. So, this is going to be a bit of a different video, and the reason I am coming out tonight with this video is I am making some changes with my YouTube channel. Originally I was going to do this beginning of January, but the urge to start now has kind of been eating at me. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this video now so I can start the new changes come next week. So what are the changes I'm referring to? Well, start off with, I know for myself as a YouTube crafting content creator, I have another YouTube content creator that I adore immensely. Like, I talk about her all the time. Up to this point, I've watched all of her videos except for the most recent one that she has put out, and that's Erin over at Crafting Kitty. And I know a lot of us YouTubers have that one, go-to person that, we just adore. Like, if honestly I could go out there and pick one YouTuber I want as a sister, because I have 4 brothers, by the way, that are all younger than me, she would be the one I'd want for my sister. I don't know why it is, but I adore her so much. And she's done this segment 3 years in a row now on her channel, where it's like a yearly segment type idea. Back in 2023, it was the year of the socks. Now, most of the time she was doing plain vanilla socks, as they're called, but she is now doing a bit of lace work and some neat little details in her socks, which congratulations to you, Erin. I'm very proud of you for that. And I know 2024 was her year of amigurumis, and she started making stuffies for her 2 young children, which, yeah, one limb may be a little crooked than the other, one may be a little more stuffed than the other, but you know what? I do the same thing with my amigurumi, so again, congratulations. And she's carried these segments on through the years since then. And then this year she's doing a segment of a 2-prong type segment, which is Mondays. She kind of does a yarn management video to go through her stash, and because her husband is her enabler. Like, I love her husband dearly. He's such a sweetheart. But oh yeah, if he knows she had like 20 skeins of yarn in her cart for whatever store, and she cut it back to 2, he'll turn around and order the other 18. He enables her big time. But on her channel, she's reached, like, for herself and her, space, she's reached her limits. So she's gonna cut back on her yarn or figure out something she's doing. I don't know what. But so she's done it in 2 prongs. Mondays is the yarn management. Tuesdays the projects, like, tackling it Tuesday and working on some said projects that she has on the go. And this is another reason I'm bringing Erin up. That woman has so many projects on the go at any given time. She's got start-itis, as I like to call it. She'll see a project, start it. And then over time, and these are all bigger projects, and over time, there it sits, collecting dust bunnies, not getting nothing done on it. I myself, if I can have more than 3 projects on the go at any given time that I'm actively working on, that's an amazing challenge for me. But I'm thinking, I'm only doing, on average, 3 videos roughly a week, and I want to put more into more videos. Originally, back in September, I was just going to add 1 new segment to my channel, and I was going to do it for Tuesdays. And as you guys know, I like to kind of play on words with the letters of the day of the week. So, like, Wednesday's whips, things we're making Thursday, finish it Fridays, or finish object Fridays. So for on Tuesdays, originally I wasn't thinking of, like, wordplay or anything, but then I ended up doing a wordplay, because what I ended up doing was, when I was thinking of, okay, I want to add a new segment to my channel, I went on dear old Pinterest, and as you guys may know, that's my old rabbit hole of all rabbit holes, and I was looking at a bunch of different themed type makes, and I finally found one I really like, but we'll get to what that is in a moment. Yesterday, I was sitting here, and I thought of a wordplay theme for Mondays. So starting this Monday coming up, I'm going to have a new segment on my channel. And that segment is Mandala Mondays. I enjoyed so much working on Sophie. Now she is 5'7" height wise and width wise, so it's a good size blanket. I have made other mandalas in the past, blankets, but they're smaller ones, and I do intend to make smaller ones, not so big as Sophie. I was thinking that blue and white yarn bee yarn I won not too long ago, making a mandala blanket out of it. The only thing is, I've never crocheted with it. I've only ever knit with that style of yarn. I don't know how well the stitches will come out, but I think it'll be a nice little size blanket because I've always, originally with Sophie, I didn't think she was going to be this big, to be honest with you. But originally I was going to use her as a wall hanger from behind me, like if I ever got my craft room or a more suitable crafting area. I wanted it for a wall hanger, kind of, backdrop type idea. And it ended up being bigger than I thought. So I thought if I use this yarn bee yarn, go as many rounds as I can. It may not be the whole pattern, but hey, get as big as I can with what I got. It would make for a nice little backdrop. And then I can do some other mandalas and maybe do somewhere, like I said, when I was working on Sophie, for those who are switching yarn every round, I love you, but you're all crazy. That's an awful lot of ends to sew in. And I have a bad habit of not sewing in my ends to the end. I gotta get in the habit of sewing them in sooner. So that's one new segment on my channel is Mandala Mondays. I have not yet picked out one. I have looked at a couple, but I have not yet picked out one. Then, like I said, what got this ball kind of rolling was I was thinking for something for Tuesdays. And like I said, I wanted something kind of roll with the letter theme. And what I came up for Tuesdays, and I'm hoping to start this Tuesday coming, it will depend on what coupon tomorrow's Michael's Flyer email has. If it's got a 40% coupon, I will be starting a project on Tuesday because I will go yarn shopping. But if it's only a 30% coupon, I will not be going yarn shopping. I don't really have any other yarns that would work for said project, but I plan on doing Monday's theme as Tuesday's tops. As you guys know, I have made a few different tops. I love my tops. Now, when I say tops, it could be a tank top with the straps. It could be like, the little cap sleeves, long sleeves, or a cardigan. I'm going to throw all those in together as a top. Now, technically, when you think of top, you think of armholes. So I'm not going to include ponchos. Even though I have seen some where it's like a poncho, but then it's got just a sleeve part here kind of thing. I'm not going to include those. I'm not going to include wraps or shawls or anything like that. And now, Erin did make something last year for Things We're Making Thursday, and it had the sleeves, but then a long square piece that you kind of wrapped around yourself. I love to make one of those, but that will not be included in tops either. So I'm thinking, because I've already actually picked out the first pattern I want to make also for that, and it calls for a 3-weight yarn. So I'm thinking the Caron, I'm drawing a blank. The same yarn I used to do Sophie. So oh guys, I'm so sorry. I'm like totally gapped here all of a sudden. But the same Caron yarn I used. Oh, this is going to drive me nuts. I don't know if I've got one sitting here. I think I do. Do I have a band sitting here? I do. Caron Skinny Cakes. I'm sorry about that, guys. I should have known exactly what yarn it was. Because the first top I looked at, which is a tank, calls for a 3-weight yarn. And, of course, I had the little, oh my goodness, I can't believe I didn't pay attention when I was trying to place that in-store pickup. I would have already had one of the Skinny Cakes available to start in January like I was originally going to do, but I'm kind of itching to start it now. So I'm hoping next week, Monday and Tuesday, I'll be showing you guys the new projects. And they will only be shown on Monday and Tuesdays. Like the Monday mandalas, you'll only see the Mondays. The Tuesday tops, you'll only see them on Tuesdays. Now, My Wednesdays are still going to be my whips, but the only whips you'll be seeing on Wednesdays will be any of my whips for my make along. So for my Facebook group, I have one particular group I participate in somewhat heavily, depending on what the items all are. You'll be seeing those on Wednesdays. Uh, Erin over at Crafting Kitty, like when she does her creator spotlight, if I'm working on any of those projects, you'll see those on Wednesday. The Crochet Witch, she has a great cake off. And if I'm currently working on a project for her, you'll see those on Wednesdays. And then Judy's Creations and Crochet, which she's the one that will give us a picture we got to draw our colors from each month. From said butterfly pictures, you'll see those on Wednesdays if I'm in the process of working on them. These are always smaller projects too, by the way. And then same with Nan's Crochet Ideas, and Cancer as a Lifestyle. Those two work together. They're doing like a stitch versus stitch. If I've got something in the progress, you'll see those on Wednesdays. So my Wednesday whips will always be smaller whips, but they'll be whips. Thursday will still be my Things We're Making Thursday, unless 1 month an item doesn't finish by the end of that month, i.e. my current Things We're Making Thursday. I've got Wednesday almost done. I'm almost at the point where I'm going to start doing her head and her hair and then finish stuffing her and putting her all together. But I still have Enid to crochet. I don't know, because I have just over a week. I don't know if that will be done in time or if that's going to go into the whips for November. But I'm going to keep Thursdays as Things You're Making Thursday. Now, I did go on the Facebook group earlier this afternoon to look to see if there's a new list out yet for 2026. I have not yet seen a new list. I'm not sure if we're going to continue doing Things We're Making Thursday for 2026. I know there's not as many, I'm not seeing as many things pop up for it. So I don't know if a lot of people have dropped out of that. Now, if people have dropped out of that and they decided, we don't have enough people participating, we're going to can it. I do have an idea of what I will be putting in that place, and it will be a new, very, very new technique for me. But we will see come next year if that theme for Thursday changes. It all depends, like I said, if we're going to have things we're making Thursday again next year, or if they're saying, no, we're done with this. Let's move on and try something different, or whatever the case may be. Now, my FO Fridays. I know you guys are used to seeing my Head to Winter Knits projects. That has been changed to a different day, and I will talk about that in a minute because I've changed how I'm doing that as well. So my FO Fridays will be more or less any of my whips from Wednesdays that are done. You'll see them finished on Fridays. So if I have an FO video for you Friday, it will either be a whip, or if I've had an order, or same with the whips, if all of a sudden I've got a gift I got to make for somebody, or I'm making somebody something, or other make-alongs or whatever. Sometimes some of the groups I participate in, they'll throw a different type of make-along in once in a while, and I'll participate in those. So that's what my whips and my FOs will be. Will be mainly my make-alongs and something I'm making specifically for somebody, kind of thing. Now, we're on to the weekend. Originally, I wasn't going to do anything for the weekend because, as you guys know, a lot of weekends I'm not home because I'm either at my camper or my husband and I are running around doing stuff or going to visit my mom or whomever, and we're just kind of busy. But I thought, you know what? We're going to add a segment anyways. And the only reason, now originally, this segment for Saturdays, I just thought about recently as well, like a few days back. And that's because the only reason I thought about this one was our Canada Post right now is working on rotation. So we may get mail today and not get mail for 2-3 weeks because there's no mail service in our area. And I know with U.S. postal costs for shipping items has gone up again in price, I do believe is what I've heard. I believe it was early October it went up in price. I want to say around the 5th or so. Could be wrong on the exact date, but it was early in October. I know your guys' prices went up again. I know a lot of you guys who have make-alongs and giveaways, or just do a giveaway in general, won't ship out of U.S. because of the cost. And I understand that. I agree. Like, it's crazy how much it's gone through the roof. That's why I don't very often do a giveaway myself. So I got thinking, okay, I'm fine with getting a PayPal as a winning prize or Amazon. And I know, for example, Erin, for her Crafting Kitty Creator Spotlight, the physical prize that she has for her winners are U.S. only. And then she was saying about if you're out of country, and she mentioned me in her one video about her giveaways, she'll drop ship you something from a either a company or a creator, like a independent dyer or something like that, in the country you're in. I thought, I'm fine with that, other than the time our Canada Post was on strike. Or I'm fine with, going to send me PayPal, Amazon. Well, then I got on Amazon looking, because there's been a few different books I've kind of glanced at. I thought, oh, that's kind of cute. And I came across a book, and I thought, I've only done that once in my life, which would have been last year. I wouldn't say it was a disaster, but it was an experience and a half. And what it was a book to learn to do loom knitting, and not just the circle hats. Now, all my looms are circles, so I'm thinking, hubby's always looking to get me stuff to do with my yarn crafting. So I'm thinking I'm going to pick out a couple other looms, like one for making blankets, and I don't know, a couple other looms anyways, to see what I can find, and get him to get me a couple different looms. And then I know I found a YouTuber, and off the top of my head I can't remember the name. I haven't watched them yet, but I have saw someone new on YouTube and to teach you other stitches and stuff like that. So Saturdays, and I'm not playing on the letter for Saturday or Sunday because I can't think of anything, but Saturdays, if I do a video Saturday, it will be whatever I'm doing on the loom. Like I said, I've made a hat, and I did it at the camper. Now, I will admit the yarn I used for that hat was probably not the perfect choice, but it turned out really cute. And the funny thing is, I do have another skein of that yarn in a different colorway, and I'm thinking of doing it on the circular loom, the small loom like I did the hat on. But when I'm done, sew the bottom together and possibly making like a little purse out of it. So keep an eye on that for next weekend if I'm home. Now, there may be some Saturdays where I'm not home, so I may have a project that I made that day, but I'm at the trailer. You won't see it till the following Saturday. It just is the way it is. Now, the biggest change with what I make, how I make things, or when I post them, and how I run them, and so on and so forth, is my head to toe winter knits. Originally, I was going to put that in Saturday slot, and I thought, nope, we're going to change that, and that's going to go on Sundays. So I know I've been slowly working away at that Pharaoh hat that you guys voted on. I thank you guys again for voting on it. And I do still have a current poll up and active. If you want to go vote on it, please do. But what I'm going to start doing now on Sundays, as long as I'm home, because sometimes Monday's a holiday and hubby and I don't come home till Monday. So that's the case you don't see something till the following Sunday. But Sundays I will show you my progress on said head to toe winter knits project. And normally when I put a poll up, because when I show you the finished project, I will then announce the winner and announce what the next 3 items are to vote on. Now, this is where I've changed it. So say, for example, this Sunday I finished the hat. I know it's not going to be finished this Sunday, but for an example, it's finished Sunday. I show you guys the hat that's finished. I then will go and close the current poll down and put up the next one on my post. So there'll be 3 objects to vote on. Go on over, put a vote. I appreciate it very much. It only takes a few seconds to do so. And then how I used to do it was, if it was a 2-way tie, the item that was not involved in the tie would be the winner. If it was a 3-way tie, I'd put up a new poll, 3 new items. I would then run it for 1 week. At the end of that 1 week, if it was a 2-way tie, I would say the other project was the winner. 3-way tie, I would close that poll again, put up a brand new poll, and run it for 24 hours. Same thing, 2-way tie, the other item's the winner. 3-way tie, I would automatically pick the next project in the book. And the problem with doing a 24-hour poll when it was on Fridays is if I've gone to the camper, a lot of times I'm not home Saturdays. So then I'd have to postpone until Sunday at whatever point of the day and announce the winner. Well, this way, with it being on a Sundays, unless Monday happens to fall on a holiday and we're going to be at the camper, more or less, say this Sunday, like I said, I finished the hat. It's done. I closed the current poll on the channel and say it's a 3-way tie. Okay. The new poll goes up anyhow, if there's a tie or not, but I'll put the new 3 items up. I will show you guys in the finished object, like showing you after I showed you the finished hat or whatever it was I was making. I will let you know if we have a winner or not, to determine on if it was a 2-way tie or a 3-way tie, or no tie involved at all. And if it's a 3-way tie, you guys will get 1 week only. Next Sunday after, I will close the poll. Can't guarantee you a time because, like I said, I could be out that day or something, or kind of the day is running on and all of a sudden it's like, oh, shoot, I got to do this poll, kind of thing. And it's kind of late night, or I get up kind of early and think, I'm bored, I'm going to do it now. You never know when that video may come out during the day. But I will, if it's, like I said, 3-way tie, after that 1 week, automatically the very next project in the book. I will tell you guys it was a 3-way tie. I will then pick the very next project and then put up the new poll for whenever that very next project is finished. I'm not doing that 24-hour thing anymore. I know it was a little confusing. I did have a couple people say to me, what do you mean by this? Like, I don't get what you're saying. So, yeah, we're only going to close the poll, see if there's a tie or not and how the tie turned out, determine if I got to run it for 1 more week with new items or if we're good to go and just put the new poll up until said project is finished, the winning project. So those are what I'm changing on my channel. I'm still going to occasionally do pop-up bingos. Maybe there's some days I'll be sitting here kind of bored and think I'm going to go live and sit here and craft, and whoever comes in, chat with them, see if they want to come up on the panel with me. I've got no problem sharing the link out and said, hey, come join me. I may occasionally have a sneaky giveaway in videos. You never know, or whatever. I actually do have one maybe kind of planned soon. You may kind of want to keep an eye out because I never announce in the title that they're a giveaway. So you never know, right, people? It's never anything big. It's usually a small item I've made. If you're a crafter, then I'll find out what you like to make and what kinds of materials you use, and find a few small things I could kind of give you, and a couple charms or keychain or something. You never know. So, yep, I'll occasionally still do a giveaway here or there. They're very far few in between, I know. But, yep, I'm kind of noticing, even with just doing a couple videos a week, my views have gone down, which kind of sucks, but it has happened. So I'm thinking if I do a little more recording, my videos will be a little shorter then, but there'll be more of them. Now, there will still be the odd day where we'll start off with, if I go shopping, say, for my tops, for example, and I buy specific yarns just for the top, I will only show those on a Tuesday. Say I got new yarn for the current top I'm working on, or to put away for the next top or whatever, and I'll show my shopping then. Same if I bought yarn for my mandala blankets. Same idea. I will show you the yarn on Mondays. Now, if I just go shopping because A, it's Christmas, or B, it's my birthday, or mine and hubby's anniversary, or Mother's Day, or hubby just says, "Hey, honey, I'm gonna take you out shopping. Let's go do some yarn shopping," which occasionally he does. Then that will be an actual shopping video. I'm not set up to do tutorials of any kind unless it's face-to-face like this, and it then makes it harder for you guys to see how to do said stitches. I don't think I'm quite good enough to do a teaching video, but if I ever get the craft area room set up, whatever that I would like, I may have then a proper desk and maybe can then start investing in other items, better lighting, stand to hold my tablet or whatever, or go and get a cheap phone that I'm not actually hooked up to, but I can record to and use the Wi-Fi on. We never know, right? So, but right now, recording tutorials and that is not on my list. I do know I keep wanting to take you guys shopping with me and show you guys what our Walmarts look like here in Southern Ontario, because they're not the greatest for yarn, but hey, they are what they are. I'd like to also go to Len's Mills one day and take you guys on a shopping spree there, or shopping, let's go up and down the aisles and show you what we got. That store's kind of like your guys' Aldi's in the States, a little smaller, but similar idea. Same with, I would love to take you guys in shopping with me at Mary Maxim, but I don't know how well they would feel about that. So that's why I've never done it. So I don't know if I'll ever get to take you guys on a shopping spree or not. And then there's times where I may be sitting at the trailer, having a nice bonfire, maybe do a short little video for you guys, just sitting there at the fire crackling and watching it go in. Or if I'm somewhere and there's fireworks going off, I may do a video for it. We actually have a holiday train that comes through, like literally 2-minute walk to off my balcony kind of thing is where the train track is. And if I stand on my train or on my balcony, I can see the train perfectly. I'm not sure the schedule's out for it yet or not. I'll have to go and look, and I'm hoping to do a little video for the holiday train. Couldn't tell you what day of the week it is because I haven't seen the schedule yet. I know I'll probably get nabbed by YouTube because as it goes by, the lights are all flashing and it's really cute and everything, but it's also playing holiday music, so I will probably get snagged for that one, and it'll be my first warning, so I should be good. We'll see what happens. But yeah, like there'll be other videos occasionally other than my scheduled videos. But you never know, right? Anyways, I'm hoping I never got my greenhouse going this year. I do have the dirt for it. I just got to put it away for next year. I've got my greenhouse. I've got some containers now to do the growing. So I'm hoping next year to actually have a bit of a greenhouse going on outside. The only problem is the width of my greenhouse and then the width of my balcony. I only got about this much walking space, so it's like I kind of got to suck through between the two to get into the greenhouse. And unfortunately, to turn my greenhouse sideways, it will not fit on my balcony. I've already measured it. It's like, dang it. So I don't know, maybe some of my gardening that's not in the greenhouse, like my flowers, because most of my vegetables I want to try, other than my peppers, but my radishes, and I had other vegetables, I can't remember now what they were, but most of them I want to grow in the greenhouse unless they're going to be tall, like my tomatoes or my peppers. Those will be outside the greenhouse, but the rest I want to grow in the greenhouse. Because even though I'm on the 3rd floor, I can still get squirrels. Although, I don't know, they cut the 2 trees down that were in front of my balcony. I may not get as many squirrels this year or next year. But I still don't really want squirrels on my balcony too often eating at my vegetables I want to use to feed my family. Or birds. So, but you never know. I may have a greenhouse video or a gardening video for you. But more or less, those are the type of videos I want to do. Like originally I did not intend on doing a video every day of the week. Like I said, I probably won't still do 7 a week. But these are the changes I plan on making. If you guys have any ideas or anything, and like I said, I do know that if we no longer do things we're making Thursday of the next 2 months, like November, December, the last 2, I do have something to fill that slot with. And that, like I said, will be something very brand new to me. And that again will be thank you, Erin, because now she's not the only YouTuber I follow that does this type of crocheting. But Erin's made a few things that I've really, 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 really have fallen in love with. And it's like, oh my god. And I know you can buy kits for this style of crocheting. And yeah, it's really, 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 really piqued my interest. So I'll have to wait and see if that's something else new on my channel. But I've kept you guys way longer than I intended to. I am so sorry about that. I hope you guys all have a great day. I hope you guys will stick around to see the changes and encourage me to keep going because I appreciate every one of yous. And like I said, if there's other things you guys could think maybe I could do on my channel, let me know. And please be kind about it. If you're nasty and rude and ignorant, I will block you. Hey, if you got a little suggestion or a little idea or you'd like to see if I could do something, shoot me a message, whatever, and a comment and stuff, and I'll see what I could possibly do. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out. If you wouldn't mind sharing out my videos, also I'd really appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up. I am trying to build this channel. I've been at it for almost 2 years now, and it's growing very slowly. But it is growing, which is always a good thing. But with your help, it can grow a little more. But I will talk to you guys later. And like I said, tomorrow there will be a Things to Make a Thursday video. Friday, I will have a finished object for you guys. I think it turned out kind of cute. The weekend, I don't think I'm going to have anything for you. And then starting Monday, this upcoming Monday, new things on the channel. So thanks again, guys, for being here, and I'll talk to you later. Have a good week, everyone.